and shocking, and she looks like a star. Yeah, she's got the style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She says she likes it better when we go off-road. Yeah. I'm gonna make it worth your while. I'm gonna make it worth your time. I'm gonna make it worth your while. When she's with me, we're like superstars. Windows roll down, radio on. I think we could go far. We don't need money. We can skip that part. All I want is her to be with me. She's got a ticket to my heart. The sky is blue, I got the sun in my eyes. It can't get better than when she makes that smile. Yeah, she's got that style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She's turning up the volume on the radio. Yeah. I'm gonna make it worth your while. I'm gonna make it worth your time. I'm gonna make it worth your while. When she's with me, we're like superstars. Windows roll down, radio on. I think we could go far. We don't need money. We can skip that part. All I want is her to be with me. She's got a ticket to my heart. Ticket to my heart. Uno, dos, tres, go. In my blue striped car, she's riding shotgun and she looks like a star. Yeah, she's got the style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She says she likes it better when we go off-road. Yeah. I'm gonna make it worth your while. I'm gonna make it worth your time. Gonna make it worth your while. When she's with me, we're like superstars. Windows roll down, radio on. I think we could go far. We don't need money. We can skip that part. All I want is her to be with me. She's got a ticket to my heart. The sky is blue, I got the sun in my eyes. It can't get better than when she makes that smile. Yeah, she's got that style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She's turning up the volume on the radio. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Hi, Myriam.
Hi. Hi, Diane. How are you?
Oh, very good.
Hi,
And
Kim. Hi, Anina.
hi, Anita. Hi, Kim. Hi, Cool Gamer.
Cool Gamer. Hi.
So today, the episode is about healing through art, understanding the inner critic. And it's following this book. It's from a chapter in this book, which is all about healing through art, which is the author is Tamara Laporte, and the book is called Create Your Life Book. And it's she offers online year-long course called Life Book. And so she created now she does that online, but here she created a book about this. So,
Sorry about that.
But it's about healing through art and all the different ways you can heal through art. And we hope that you might follow along in the suggested materials, and you don't have to use all these materials, but I'll list off the suggested materials, which are acrylic markers, acrylic paint, water-soluble markers, colored pencils, gesso, graphite pencil and eraser, mixed media paper, collage items that represent freedom and transformation. Now, for me, I'm not using all those materials. I used a graphite pencil already and an eraser, and I am using I'm doing my techniques with water-soluble markers today and collage. I will be using collage. So as you can see, I'm not even going to be using all those materials, but I will go over the way she uses those materials in this book.
Perfect. And we put in our post the material, so if you in the chat want to work with us, please.
Yes, it's in the description box of my live stream. I also put it down in the description box.
I didn't put it in my description box, but yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. I can tell what is.
Right. They're kind of basic materials, and you just use the materials that are convenient for you and that you prefer. You don't have to use these materials. As you can see, she used these water-soluble crayons, and she used acrylic paint, and I will go over how she uses them, but
okay.
that's not what I'm choosing to do.
I have a lot of, I have everything that you put in the list. By the way, Anina said to forward you say hello.
Yes.
She says hello.
Oh, okay. And hi again to you, Anina. So
I think it's better if you tell us it is, and if you choose to do different. I can do the same, and whoever is working with us along us could do the same. But we have the guide to know what to do.
Yes. At what point would you like to talk about your cartoon that you created?
It's okay. You can tell the guidance, and in the meantime that we are working and you are not telling that, I can start to talk.
Yes, Myriam has created. She's so creative. She had a few weeks ago. She started her own cartoon, which is all about the inner critic. It's a cartoon she created that talks back to the inner critic. It's so creative.
Yes, but it's very active today, so I couldn't do more.
Oh, your inner critic is very active today?
Inner critic was very active, so every idea I had, he said, no. Do you think so?
Oh, okay. I want to tell you, I want to give you some tips I've learned, not just from another book that an author that I like, that my favorite technique for dealing with the inner critic. I'm going to share that. But
okay, perfect.
She starts this chapter off with not about, like, every chapter starts off with the mental health aspect of this and promoting yourself, being and promoting your well-being through art and improving your mental health through art. And she starts these 2 pages are all about addressing your inner critic, and kind of what's on the way she addresses this is she starts off saying, let me read this, of like what's underneath the inner critic. So she starts off with exploration, confronting your inner critic. Sit down, take a moment, and write a paragraph.
Sorry.
Okay.
I need to address to my dog. I don't know. Hey,
write a paragraph of your inner critic's most common critiques in your in your paragraph. Select three of the most painful thoughts and work through them by answering these questions. And I just go over a little bit about this. She has lots of questions to ask the inner critic. Like for example, the inner critic might say, "I don't like this painting. It's no good. It's not good enough and no one will like it." And then you ask yourself, what's under this statement? Which more which more elaborate inner critic thoughts live there? What feelings live there? Ow, my eyes are bothering me.
Oh,
So she and it's very extensive. It's very extensive. This whole page is all about that.
okay.
But
So we can talk about it between us because you don't need to read that. I think that we know enough.
Because I want to share with you from another author my favorite technique for dealing with the inner critic.
Okay.
So it's from Elizabeth Gilbert from her book called Big Magic. And she's a writer that has to deal as a creative person. She's a writer, and her creative thing is writing. And she herself has to deal with the inner critic all the time. And this is what she recommends. She says she actually writes a letter to she lets the inner critic have its voice. Like she'll write and then she tells us that the inner critic is really trying to protect us in its own clumsy way. The inner critic's trying to protect you from failure, from disappointment. So what she says is that you let the inner critic tell you its fears, and you'll see it's a very short list. The fears that it has is a very short list. And then you say, okay, I've heard you, and now she sees the inner critic as somebody that's always going to be along for the ride, like in her vehicle. Like there's like, I don't know who the other people in the vehicle are that would be her vehicle, but the inner critic can never be in the driver's seat. So her creative impulse could be in the driver's seat. She could be in the driver's seat. Her creativity could be in the driver's seat, but the inner critic can never be in the driver's seat. She will never allow the inner critic but the inner critic is always going to be there. So she lets the inner critic have its voice, but it can never drive the vehicle. It can never be in the driver's seat. So that's my favorite technique. You can't make the inner critic go away. It's always going to be there. You just don't let it be. You let it have its voice, listen to its fears, and say, okay, I heard you, I understand, but we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this anyway. We're gonna do such and such, and we're gonna do this.
Okay, I'm not so. You have echo again, or it's me?
Echo.
Okay, I'm not so agree with that completely. I'm not agreeing completely with that, but we are going to talk about it in the. Anina have the cars already.
So are you saying I'm echoing?
I think it's you. I don't know.
Then let me check if
everything how it need to be.
Then I have to check if my earbud is connected.
But it's not all the time, so maybe it's saturated.
Let me just check if my earbud is connected. Hold on.
Okay.
This is good.
Do you want me to talk so you can?
Yes. Yeah. Could you please talk?
Okay, I'm talking.
You can tell us about your comic strip, your cartoon, The Inner Critic.
Okay, I can talk about it a little bit. So I made, I work by impulse. So in that sense, I agree with your author that I let my impulse, my artsy impulse or creative impulse to lead. Okay. So sometimes I do things and I don't know where they are going to end. But sometimes no, sometimes I have a clear vision. And sometimes, even though I have a clear vision, things could have an unexpected ending or turn. But I recognized the inner critic as the voice of the many critics that I had all my life. I meant critics of important person for me, significant person for me. But I don't think the inner critic is bad. And let me tell you why. Well, I am in a tangent.
I don't. Yeah, you know, I'm sorry. I don't know how to fix this edit. I just don't know how to fix. I don't know how to fix this echo. I can't read this. I'm sorry. I don't. Is it really bothering you?
No, it's okay. It's not so bad. And it's
does the audience hear this echo?
They said that was echoing and then was better, because I think it's something that it's not happening all the time. But you have one camera less. Do you know that? Your face camera, it's out.
Oh, well then that's
in the meantime,
because I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I don't know.
Worry.
I can only connect this. I don't know how to fix something in the middle of a stream. I don't know how to do that
anymore. It was for some seconds, so don't worry about that.
Okay, I'll add myself back to the stream.
Okay. In the meantime, I'm going to tell about my comics. So I started to do my comics thinking about the inner critic that everyone have, and to represent him as a character that don't go away and that always have something to say. So I think the critic is the part that save us from mistakes or need to be. The inner critic need to be our mirror. Like we have a mirror because we cannot see ourselves. We need a mirror. Physically, that happens. I cannot see myself without a reflective surface. But we depend on how we take it. Could be the inner critic, meaning something to stop us, or could be the observer that could say the same things, but we take it as it is. So I think there is a mirror in front of us, and could be either of them, and maybe some more that I will go to discover through time. So for now, I have two characters plus me that are my inner critic and my observer. And they are useful, both of them. The thing is that, as she said, and in that I agree, you don't need to let them lead. Even the observer can observe something, you pay attention to this, and you decide what to do. When the inner critic or yourself sees that things, that observation, like could be that this observation it's really near to some trauma that you have when you were a kid. Could be this observation something that it's a taboo in the society, so you don't want to accept it. So that becomes your inner critic. That stops you. It's like take the wheel, so you cannot do whatever your impulse says.
Yes, that's when the inner critic gets out of control and gets in the driver's seat is not the good thing.
Yeah. But it happens. It happens to all of us. It happened to me today, something that I think it represents it. Having
Yes, it happened to me right now with its earphones. I'm about to cry.
No, don't do it. It's okay.
So
Everything is good. And if there is echo, you are going to art and I am going to talk.
Okay.
So I think it's time. Could you say the inner critic is a guide, says Eddie? It's a guide. Yes, it could be a guide, Eddie. It's a guide if become the observer. Because I think the two of them are the same, are like two sides of a coin. And depend of you which side you are going to have. When I was little, I read a lot of literature for kids, but like novels or something like that, not a kiddie things like now. And one of them talk about a girl that fell off of the column, like el columpio, la hamaca, Eddie, you can tell me. Anina says the inner critic is nothing positive for me. Yes, I understand and I agree. But in this book, the character, the kid, fell off from
a hammock.
A hammock, yes, and she get paralyzed. So she was in bed. She didn't want to nothing to bother. She was depressed. And the sister said beside her and said, you need to take the things for the good on them. Like if you need to open a door and it seems that to open the door, the thing we have, it was smooth in one side, like the upper side, like you need to touch, and it was rough on the other side. So she told her, you try to open with the hand like that, and you need to put your hand like this. So of course it was meant to the healing of the soul. That is the first. So let's say that I have my white sheet of paper, and I don't know what to do. And immediately, because I said I don't know what to do, there is panic. This is the inner critic. You never know what to do. Anyway,
Yeah.
why bother? What you are going to do is not worth it. Now, let's take the same phrase. Yes, you never know what to do. And if you accept that as an observation, first of all, you are going to feel well and not bad. Second, it's your opportunity to say, oh, that's right. When I have a blank canvas in front of me, I don't know what to do. So let's find solutions to that. Let's put something on it. Oh, I have an idea now. That could be one solution. So you put your hand like this, instead like this. Whatever he said, anyway, don't bother. And I can say, yes, I don't need to bother for that. I accept your observation. Thank you. I don't need to bother because I am going to find the solution. And anyway, it is not going to be worth it, or it's not worth it. Yes, you are right. Not worth it to be so preoccupied about this. I only needed to put something on the page, or to grab some materials and say, oh, what I am going to use today. Oh, I have options. Wow. Oh, I remember a technique. Yes, with these aquarelle markers, I can do it. And maybe I can use the color combo. I don't know, whatever. I try to be very graphic because it's an innovative idea. It's not, we think that everything is separate. The inner critic, it's outside and it's telling me, no, it's in you. So, swings, said Eddie. Thank you, Eddie. Yes, swings. Thank you so much. So, positive or negative, everything is inside you. And you need to use them. Let's say that I want to do something, but really it's only my first idea. And I don't know if that will be really something good. Or I do something and I don't know, I say, oh, that I don't feel it. Okay, that's a positive way to do it, because the inner critic said you something and you pay attention and you accept it in a good way. That is healing.
Well, if the inner critic says something that's productive, like constructive, like when the inner critic just says, "Oh, that's not good enough," you're not good enough. That's when you want to get behind the fear. What's behind that? What's the fear behind that? The inner critic is trying to, that the inner critic has.
Okay, so let me take your words. Okay, this is not good enough.
Yeah.
I am not good enough. You know what I did when it was Inktober? I did not only what it says in the words, but I choose something extra, like do in the style of the painters, that a list of painters for every day, one painter. I detect, thanks to the inner critic, that I have limitations. And I wanted to better myself. So yes, I'm not good enough. Anyone is good enough. Or do you think that you are? No. We are not good enough because the perfection, it's only a horizon line to continue walking. It's not that I'm perfect. Even the great painters were not perfect. So I hope I can reach you and everyone with the message, because for me it's very important. That's why I decided to do the comic, because I can put all that ideas slowly so no one will have fear. As you mentioned, fear.
Yes. So, the inner critic is based on fear and trying to prevent you from getting disappointed or have failures.
Okay, prevent you to be disappointed or have failures. Could be, and it's good because you can change what you are doing every time. You don't do like that. That's it. I finished. No, you need to work your art. And I know because all of what are here, Anina and Kim and Eddie and Tammy. Oh, Paul is here. Hi, Paul. How are you?
Hi, Paul.
He said, "Tick, get out of my head." It's
He
not.
said what?
So I think it's important. There is a concept of the inner critic. And I think that it is when our observations or what we see in the mirror don't reflect what we think about ourselves. It's something unexpected. Oh no, why? I am the best. My drawings are perfect. If I don't not convinced, let's put it on Facebook. I will have 20, 30 or whatever like him.
So are you saying the inner critic, one function of the inner critic is to prevent you from thinking that your stuff is better than it is?
No. Feel that you are the best and you have nothing to learn.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Is the problem. Everything you said, I said to me without problems. But when you don't accept that, so what happened? Something inside reject that idea. When you reject the idea, how can you reject something that it's only an observation? With fear, with it goes to your fear. It goes to whatever. It's like a spring that you push and the spring push back. That's what happened. So I'm not a psychologist. I only observe myself and try to be the more truthful with myself that I can be. And sometimes being truthful with yourself is to accept things that they are not so well seen like or accepted by others. And that's why if you see your art after a while, it's better than in the moment that you are doing it. Because in the moment that you are doing it, you pour your soul and everything goes out without barriers.
That's part of the creative process of where you can where you intuitively just let it like play like a child, let it come out, and then you can step back with an editing eye afterwards. After you've played and let it come out, you can step back later after a while, come back with an editing eye.
Yes, and we are like an onion. We have layers. So sometimes when I do digital art, I start to do like whatever. And then I put another layer and I start to play with whatever I do like that. And then I put another layer. It's like refine.
Yeah.
Because art expression, it's a pure expression as I see it, okay? I see it as a pure expression. I will grab something and I will put it in without knowing why. And then when I see something that it's not so acceptable, that it's when I say to the inner critic, come on, I need you. Please make me feel bad.
Make you feel bad.
Yes, yes, because in the arting moment, you cannot, I don't know how to express that, sorry, but
Well,
I
I think
think that,
I understand in my own way what you're saying. I think I understand what I just said about you play, you let it out, you be creative, and you don't let
yes,
the inner critic be there. But then after a while, after a few hours, after a few days, then you can come back with an editing eye, and the inner critic can help out.
yes, but I say the opposite thing is that the inner critic, uh, it's sprung out in the moment and that you are creating without thinking about it. That's why I said, make me feel bad, because I
Right.
cannot think at the same time that I am creating. It's like if you
Yes,
have
I get it. You
a
can't
coach,
edit. Right. You can't
yes,
think critically. You cannot think critically the same time that you're creating. That's two
yes,
separate
yes.
processes.
Let's say ideally, because the first time we did a drawing, okay, let's see. Paul Pate said, I'm like a head of lettuce, more leafy than an onion. Okay, more leafy. Okay, for you. And Anina said, some part of what you share sound also like self-conscious. Okay, what you said, I cannot read it this word. Consciousness. Yes, yes. I shared with you already what I think Socrates said, that nothing of the human it's strange to me. Nothing human is strange to me. We have inside everything. Only that sometimes we go and we experience things, and those things mold how we treat the aspect of us. So when we don't accept, we treat them bad. It's like they yell hi, or they talk to you hi. It's my turn. You need to put something because it's cold, and I don't hear, and I still without a sweater. So they said a little bit more higher. Hi, you hear me? You need to put a sweater. So I said, no, 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 I don't hear you. I ignore you. So when they need to yell us is when we have the inner critic. Instead of said, after a while, if they, instead of said, hey, put a sweater, they said, no, you don't hear me. You never hear me. And so on. So that's the inner critic. Instead of that, let's accept the observation of ourselves. And let's try to put on this phrase the better explanation or that it is. That's it. I want to add something. Let me know what we are doing. I want
Okay,
to know.
we can go on to the next. Thank you for sharing your unique views on the inner critic, and I have I have some different views on the inner critic. What I express, so I think everybody can deal with the inner critic. You know, take in their. I learned something from Myriam, but to add to what I think. But I pretty much stick to what I think. But I learned something
Okay.
from Myriam that kind of that I hadn't thought about regarding the inner critic. So that was interesting. So
Yes, thank you.
from the book, it's the title of this chapter of understanding the inner critic is that it's called just a minute. is you're going to create an art page. It's called You Have Wings. So let's see what she says about this. You have wings. We will create a front-facing portrait of a girl with wings, a little bird or owl and butterflies around her head, symbolizing the transformation of the inner critic's thoughts of or feelings, positive into positive. Well, the transformation of the inner critic's thoughts to feelings, positive, compassionate thoughts. The bird represents wisdom and compassion for me. Choose symbolisms that are meaningful to you. And that's the finished thing of what this artist created. She had the girl have wings and butterflies, and for me, I'm going to add flowers too, because flowers are symbols of transformation. So of course you create the face you want. Here she's creating like one of those faces where it's a big head kind of cartoon kind of thing, and how she's done it in pencil first. I did my step already with pencil. I drew out the face with pencil first. You might want to do it with the big head and the small little skinny neck kind of style if you want. I did not.
I
I
already started, and I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm doing, but it's not like that.
I did a more representational face rather than this cartoon face that this artist does. So she draws it in pencil first, and then her technique is that then she uses water-soluble crayons for the flesh tone, whatever skin tone you want. And then she describes her process of how she uses the water-soluble crayons with the acrylic. Then she does a layer of acrylic on top of the water-soluble crayons. She adds details. She's drawing her whole composition out right here with the birds and butterflies around the figure.
Okay.
So I didn't want to get into her process so much as showing you sharing with you what she does, and just saying, I guess the inspiration is creating a figure with wings and symbolism of freedom, things that symbolize freedom and transformation, because her idea is trying to transform the inner critic into something more positive, and that you can grow from the inner critic. Like Myriam's saying, the inner critic helps you grow.
Yeah. At least
So which could be part of transformation. Yes, go ahead. What were you saying?
Good. At least is what I think. Let's see. We have. No, we don't have more in the chat. Let's represent the wings. Weird wings, but wings.
Yes, I didn't leave enough room for the wings because I actually just noticed that it's about wings today. Somehow I had missed that in the reading, that this is about adding wings to the figure. So I squeezed in some wings there.
Yeah.
Hi, Pat. Welcome.
I knew because you told us, but I didn't do it. Okay, let's start. Let's put some water here. And let's start with the skin tone, which I don't know if I have.
I'm making my skin tone lavender, purplish.
Oh, that's a great idea. Let's do it. I think this one is so ruined that I am going to have Yep, pim, pim, pam, pam, pam. So let's see. Have any thought of outer critics? Yes, I have. How did you know?
Well, I work with a critic every week. I actually get my work critiqued every week, and it's helped me grow as an artist.
Oh, that's a good thing then. I think that the inner critic, sorry, I need to, not the inner critic, sorry. The outer critics only touch us if we let them.
And it can be constructive. It could be positive or negative critiques.
Yes, the same. So I think I thought about that once, as if we have a goal and like a place where you can put the ball and make a goal, and you are the defense. And when things get in, if they are things that are aligned with your inner critic, or with your fears, or with your taboos, or with your traumas, so the ball gets in, and that start to bounce inside you, touching everything, every trauma, every problem, and you start, is what we call, to go down to the rabbit hole.
You're right.
But if you accept that the other one, it's another, and could have an opinion, and sometimes this opinion could be useful, and sometimes it's not. So you say thank you for your thoughts, and you don't let the ball get in, the ball bounce outside and not bother you anymore. So that's my thought.
Well, I work with an outer critic every week. I get critiques by another artist every week on my work, and it's really helped me grow as an artist.
Because you accept that.
Most of the time, I agree with his critiques, but other times, just every now and then, I'm like, I don't think so. I don't agree with that. But most of the time, I agree with his critiques, and then it strengthens my artwork.
And you are entitled, because even if he had more knowledge than you, okay, that's why he is your critic, because he have more knowledge. You could not be in the moment that you can accept and use that. And could be that along the way you will find that really useful, and then you are going to use it. Like sometimes I have things that my mother said to me, or my father said to me, or the masters I have said to me, and don't matter, not matter who. And I cannot think positively about that and use it until a lot of years have passed, because I wasn't there when she observed what she observed, and sometimes never will be in the same wave, length wave that I am, and sometimes yes. So We don't know that. But if we say thank you, I will put it in some place that I can use it afterwards. And that's it. There are people that are really pushy, let's say. They not only think something, but they insist and insist and insist. Like they want to control you. And I don't let them. Because if what they say seems to me okay, so I accept it and thank you. But if not, I accept it too as something that it's from other people, not from me. I am more willing to accept the inner critic than the outer critic. I think we need to talk about one word that it's common, that is critique. What is a critique?
Well,
Someone have access to a dictionary now, so I don't need to take out or use one of my devices. It will be very interesting to
I can
know.
look it up. You want to know the definition for critique?
Yes, from the dictionary.
Okay, I can look it up. In my opinion, it's just one person's opinion, and whether if you value that person's opinion or not, it depends if you value that person's opinion, whether you want to take their critique, if you want to take that in and use it in your work or not. So because a critique is to improve your work. So if you value somebody's opinion and you think, oh, their critique, I think I'm gonna take that in and use that what they've said, because I think it would improve my work. That's what the whole point of a critique is to improve your work. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm looking it up.
Look at, and I'm going to tell something of someone that.
Okay, here it is. Here it is.
Okay. Okay.
A detailed analysis and assessment of something, especially a literary, philosophical, or political theory, but we have to add art. We have to add art to that.
Okay.
So,
say
the verb, I'm not done. The verb is evaluate a theory or practice in a detailed and an analytic way. The authors critique the methods and practices used in the research. That's an okay. I'm done. Thank you. That's all.
I want to hear again the first part.
Okay.
The first paragraph.
Well, it's a noun and a verb. So the noun, a detailed analysis and assessment of something. And then the verb is to evaluate a theory or a practice in a detailed and analytic way.
So something of that, it's bad? I don't think so.
I don't think so. No, what's bad is if you don't value the person's opinion. Like if you don't think, I mean, if you don't value, that's not even bad. You can decide whether you value that person's critique or not. Whether you think it would be helpful for your artwork or not.
Yes. Anina says, even people are challenged with a feedback. People think they can give always one, not only if you ask for it. Yes, that's correct too. So let's say that the other critique us. So it's doing an analysis of something, of some aspect of us. The thing is, did you ask for that analysis? And if you ask for that, you ask for analysis or you ask for an attack? So I think that when we said he critiqued me, it's not a good use of the word, because we think critique is to say bad things about whatever.
Oh, well, I grew up going to art school, and critique was the word you used. Like, you get a weekly critique of your work. Critique is not a bad thing. It's like you get a critique, everybody gets a critique of their work and all that.
Of
And so
course.
I grew up in art school where they use the word critique in a good, a good way. It's about it's a way to improve your work.
Yeah. So I don't think it's bad. But
It
let's
can
say
be bad,
that,
but some people can be pretty mean. Like I've had a professor one time, and he was so harsh. His critiques were so harsh. Most people did not like his critiques.
so I think you can separate the critique and the way that is said.
Yes.
Let's say that something said, "Oh, that's really not a believable color of face." Okay? And I said, "Yes, you are right. Now that I see it, really it's unbelievable." And the other one can say, "I cannot understand why you always put something so bad there." That's not a critique, that's an attack. So
Right.
I think that first we need to do the difference. When your inner critic or when your self-conscience attacks yourself, like pinch in one of your traumas, because knows that will make
Trigger you. That will trigger you.
Yes, that will trigger you, that you make you hear. It's because you don't hear yourself enough. At least that's what I think. And what says Nina, it's very important. Some people think that are entitled to put a magnifying glass on ourselves or on others and said what they want and what they see. So do that with your own life.
And ask permission. Ask permission if you're going to critique somebody. Would you like to hear my opinion? You ask them ahead of time.
Yes, I wanted to tell something. I did a drawing, a digital drawing of myself. And I was very pleased, but I could see that it wasn't at the level I wanted to be. So instead of being mean with me and said the same thing, but in a mean way, I wrote to Christopher Ranciman. If you don't know him, it's Christopher Ranciman, and you can look for him. It's streaming right now. I don't know, because he changed the days. I don't know if just now, but he's very good drawing. So I said to him, "Can you give me pointers how I can improve that?" And he answered me, "Do you really want my critique?" And I said, "Yes." Because sometimes we say things that in the surface, like superficial things.
Yes.
Okay? But he wanted to be sure that it's what I asked him for. And he gave me an advice the how to improve it, that I don't know how to manage. So I said, thank you so much, but I didn't use it. So that's an example that one critic, it's something that you can thank, because I'm sure that down the road, I will be prepared to follow that and to do that. And if he never would said that to me, I won't have the opportunity even in the future. And now I have an opportunity. So that's, for me, it's very, very important. So I want to hear more of the chat. So how they see all of that.
Yes, tell us in the chat, how do you feel about the inner and the outer critics?
I love these. These are like crayons, but you can manage them with water or without water. And I have them for many, many years, and it was the most cheap crayons or even art supply that I could find. So let's see if we have, some opinions.
Everybody's just saying hello to each other in this chat.
Oh,
wait a minute. Anina says the part sounds for me like self-consciousness. Oh, she said that in your
yes.
chat too?
Yes, yes. You have the two of the chats. I have only one. So
No,
I think
I'm not looking at. I'm sorry, I'm not looking at that. I'm not looking at the universal whatever. I'm looking at
okay. So
they bounce back and forth between your chat and my chat.
Yeah. Paul finished his book, his third book. So I need to congratulate you, Paul.
You mean reading a book or what? What are you talking about?
No, he was drawing and writing a comic book.
Oh, that's not Paul's blind. That's not Paul's Blind Soup for the Soul, is it?
No, it's Paul Pate.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
hi, Paul.
And he is fantastic, at least for me. I don't know for him himself.
Well, do you want to tell us more about your cartoon, The Inner Critic?
Oh, yeah, I want to. So I had a lot of ideas. The thing is that I have ideas at night, and I don't have where to write them because I'm so sleepy at the time that I cannot open my eyes. But I have ideas as how to start with them, because I don't want that to be something so evident, But yeah, I think that the interaction with them bring me healing too. Everything that I said today is something that I arrived to the conclusion being really acceptant and observe myself as if I was outside of me. Like Paul talked about the outer critic. So let's say that the observer is like an outer critic. What is the difference between your own critic and the others? Or your own critique and the others' critique?
Oh, the difference is that the outer critic gives me more an objective eye. The outer critic sees things I didn't see, that because I get a weekly critique on my artwork, and I that he sees things that I didn't notice in my work.
Okay, why?
To help me.
So why that happened? Do you know?
Why?
Yes.
Because why they would see something in the work I didn't see? They're just another set of eyes. It's just another set of eyes, different opinion. The person coming from a different place that sees things in your work that you didn't see.
But your work is the same. It's another person.
Right. It's subjective. How somebody sees it, subjective.
Ah. So, first of all, if your work is subjective, that means that any critique, bad critique that you can do, even the good critiques, are subject to your history. Okay? So what happened is that the other person don't have your same attachments or detachment to different things. Let's say that I do a cone of ice cream. That was my work. And something come and made a critique about it. But let's say that I associate inside of me the ice cream with a bad experience. Or not the ice cream, but the cold. Or he said, oh, I see that the colors are in dissonance. Or it's not a good composition. I know many people defy the rules of composition in their art. I know that many people have doing art with colors that they are not go one with the other. And the art is beautiful at the end because they were free. They didn't have attachment to any of the things that are component of the art, or they managed to not let that things to go in the way.
Yeah, and beauty's in the eye of the beholder. That's subjective too. One thing that somebody thinks is beautiful, somebody else does not think is beautiful.
Of course. Of course. So let's do them.
Oh,
sorry,
I'm doing. Talk about your cartoon.
Okay, more about my cartoon.
The cartoon of the inner critic, everybody.
Yes, I know. People always ask me, why are they men and not women?
Oh.
And the first one, I didn't think about it really. But the second one, I made like, I defied that critique or that observation. And I made another man, and I put, yes, it is a man too. So, because for me, it wasn't important the this. It wasn't important. I didn't think about it. So it's not that I create it a man because I had an ulterior motive. For me, it's what I don't draw. The drawing, they go outside. You see, I, that is how I see the art. That it's a consequence of you. It's not you putting something. When you put something, so it's the time that really you see, oh, okay, it's not a good work of art because you put something on purpose. So I think we are in a journey, okay? So our journey is a journey of discovering, a journey of like you don't know and you need to know, and to know you experience, and then you are going to have, because the knowledge is a multi-level thing. So maybe you accept that knowledge and you accept one part, or the part that you see in the surface, but it's like an iceberg. It has a lot inside. So you need to discover, and you are going to discover all the levels of the knowledge as soon as you are ready for every one of them. So, for instance, I sometimes see in myself, in my work, something that my father told me a long time ago. And I don't know if I accept that or no, or I was prepared or no, but suddenly I see myself doing it without thinking about it. Then I recognize the thing that I did. So that worked for me like that, because I have a mind that accept the knowledge without asking, without resistance. That's why I never needed to go to learn, especially because one time it's enough. Okay. And my comic will be my thoughts in the making. Like, it will be entertained, I think. It's not that you need to think hard, but you could if you want. Okay. I think the basic is already there. Let's use one more color. So, how is so far for you? So savage? Too savage, would I say? Makes sense? No? Yes? I put the stream and I went to my kitchen to make a coffee. All of the above.
Oh, you're asking your chat?
Yeah. But let's see. Just the other doesn't know what is positive for you sometimes, said Anina. I like your inner critics comics. Yes, thank you. You see, I like my girl. Okay. Let's see what I am going to put in the background Oh, what color? I think the only one I could put is this. I am going to use markers after that because this is to lay the color only. So I need also the collage to add. You know, I have many ideas, but only when I put them out, I can learn. So I
Only
think
when
that
you
we
put them
can
out, you can what? Learn?
learn, yes. Inside, I cannot see them. I need to put them
Oh, I see what
inside.
you mean. Yes.
So sometimes it's the critic who critique me or do said what it is, but sometimes, like now that I am talking about something, I learn new things and I learn from others, not from me only. I incorporate whatever you say, whatever they say in the chat, and I incorporate as another point of view. I think that whenever we are going to have the complete picture of us, that will be the sum of our life.
Yes.
So, why art? My point of view, art help you because it's a, uncensored voice. Even if you struggle and do something and say, oh no, this something that you did is inside you. And the oh no is the oh, I love your drawing with their tones. Love it and the contrast. So that was for you. It's not part of the explanation. So what do I have? I have a corpse, a mummy. I have
Yes,
birds.
Anina, but today we are particularly using flowers and butterflies for symbols of transformation and freedom. That we are supposed to be using symbols of transformation and freedom. That's why I'm using flowers and butterflies or birds today. But yes, that's true. In my artwork, a lot of times I do use a lot of times I use flowers, and sometimes I use butterflies, and often use birds. Yes, but specifically today. Thank you, Anina. Thank you.
I found this.
But actually, the 6 things that I'm offering in my art auction for April, I don't think anything has any butterflies in it at all. Oh, yes, the one piece has butterflies. One of my things has butterflies in it. One.
Oh, yes. And about transformation or metamorphosis, the butterfly is like the ideal one for that. Because they have a metamorphosis in their lives. From all the things I have, I think I am going to use the flowers of this and these hands because it represents everything. It represents the person and it represents the bird. And because they are two different hands, represent the union or the the others as contributors to our metamorphosis. Wow, all of that.
I just put the link in my chat about please join my April art auction. Most art, it's all fine art prints and handcrafted wood reproductions, and all my offerings are going to be under $70 with 3 prints available per artwork.
Oh, great!
That's a great deal to be able to buy fine art prints, and because it's less expensive than buying original art.
Of course.
Well, of course, my digital art can't be made any other way. It has to be a fine art print. It can't be can't be realized any other way.
Oh, yeah. You know, we have a swap collab this month, and I am going to do it with Tammy, and she is in the chat now. And we decide to do the swap digitally because of the
Oh, that's interesting. How are you going to do it digitally?
every one of us. That was the first idea. I need to talk with her today, but the idea is that we do something preferable with our hands in materials, and then we take a picture or scan it and pass it to the other one, and then the other one take it in Procreate as a base and do something else. So I don't want to talk about details because there are other people and I want to surprise everyone with my partner. But that's the idea, because if we need to share that, we are going to share that digitally anyway. We are not going to go house by house and let them see that in the flash. So I think don't mind if you do it, you resolve it digitally. I'm not so convinced like that.
Yes, in the chat, please tell me what you think. Tell us what you think about the inner and outer critics. What's your viewpoints?
Something like that. Like this. Yeah, I think so. Let's see if I have something else. Nope. Nope. I have leaves. I can put some leaves as a symbol of transformation. Yes, you can. I think that also sometimes we seek for opinion of others, not professionally.
What's the word? We what?
Seek for opinions.
We're looking for them?
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe we don't trust in ourselves enough. I see that seeking for help.
No, I think a critic is important for me. I need weekly critiques on my work.
That's
It's
okay.
really helped me grow. It's really helped me grow as an artist compared to just me looking at my own artwork and trying to figure out how to go further with it. I find the critiques so essential.
Okay, I understand. But don't you think that it's like a shortcut?
Shortcut? Yeah, what's wrong? I don't know
Yes,
about
and I don't mean bad. And I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean it that we are going to do whatever learning that we need in our lives. And the learning will come to us. Could be because you practice a lot, because you
or it could come through somebody. Like you're saying, oh, if it comes through somebody else, that's
yes.
not as good as it coming through yourself.
No, yes, but for instance, I asked an opinion to Christopher because I wasn't sure about something, but I wasn't ready for the answer. Because if I were ready, I would have that, like I would take from others what they say and no direct to me. I'm not talking to you now. I am talking in general what is my opinion on my learning in life. So you can take that as, oh, yes, I never thought about it, but I'm not talking to Dana. I'm talking to Diane, sorry. I'm talking about me.
Okay.
So what I did with Christopher, seeking an advice, I see that as a shortcut. You see? Not that it's bad, it's different.
I don't agree. I think you may never have come when you get another set of eyes on something. You may never have come to that. You may never have come to that without another set of eyes with with other opinion, with a second opinion.
Okay, but am I prepared for that?
Oh, I guess that's up to you whether you're prepared for it.
I think that when you are prepared for a learning or for a knowledge, you are going to find it. And I think it is going to be something like, I don't know how to express myself. I don't want to hurt you anyway. I know that you are seeking the advice of someone.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about my artwork. I know you're not talking about me, but I will admit to you, I'm not sure about my artwork, and I want second opinions. I do want second opinions.
I know, and it's okay. It's okay. So I'm going to do some noise that StreamYard is going to mute. I hope.
Anina, with fine art prints, though, I bet it could be in anybody's budget because it's gonna be like even under $60. It's like it's very inexpensive for art when you get for these fine art prints that most that I'm offering. At least it's like I think it's in anybody's budget as opposed to original art, which it's like $100 or $200, which may not be in everybody's budget. But the fine art prints, you should definitely check them out. Because you'd be surprised. It could be in your budget. It could very well be in your budget.
Everything you said, I couldn't hear, Diana.
That's okay. I was talking to Anina.
Ah, perfect. Then perfect. I was afraid I am knowing you. So I am continuing a little bit more because I need that to be dry.
Yes, Anina, go ahead and join the art auction group, and you may be pleasantly surprised that these fine art prints are with it, because this month is all fine art prints as opposed to next month, which will be original art and some art prints. But this month is all strictly art prints and handcrafted wooden reproductions, and you may be pleasantly surprised that it could be in your budget. So yes, definitely join the art auction group. The prices aren't being listed now. The prices will be listed April 13th to the 17th, but I'm just telling you, my work is going to be under $60 and $70 under that. Oh, that's right. Anina lives in the Netherlands. Oh yeah, because this month I'm not shipping to international, but other artists may be shipping in. We have international artists. I have artists from India in the show, artists from Finland in the show. So it's not just me, but most artists will be shipping international.
I remember one phrase, and I'm not sure about it. Critic eye.
Critical eye.
Well, I know it as a critic eye.
Critics. I've heard of critical eye. I don't know about the critic's eye.
What is a critical eye?
A critical eye is like taking an editing view of your work with a critical eye. With a critical eye, you're taking it, you're going to look at your artwork and now be in the editing process of it instead of like the creating where it's spontaneous and playful creating. Then the other part of the creative process is the editing process, where you take a critical eye at your work and do editing.
Yes. So I think that is different as a critic, but use the same. It uses the critic, and as you say, editing, it's like thought. It's like put the thought in what are you doing and what are the
Yes, and whether you think your artwork is working or not. Like, do you think it's you're trying to edit it because you want the artwork to work, to be harmonious and work?
Yes, yes. I think there are different. I like your critical. I think there are different personalities who needs for growth different
Hi,
things.
Jordan.
Nothing better one or the other. Yes, yes, I agree with you. Totally agree with you. So I am using now water Carioca Aquarelle. It's watercolor felt tip pens.
We have a question. We have a question from Jordan.
Okay.
Jordan wants to know how did it make a difference? Like what goes through your head when she is creating an art piece, and the same with you, what goes through your mind when you gonna create during our creating you mean our creative process? Is that I try to create spontaneously and playfully, and then for a period of time, and then after a few hours or a few days, I come back with an editing eye and try to look at my work. But I should work more like that. Instead, I actually have the creative process going, and I'm actually looking at it and editing at the same time. It's maybe a bad habit. I'm actually looking and editing at the same time, where I should probably create more freely at first. I do create, I mean, some paintings I do that, I create freely, and then I take an editing eye pretty quickly. Maybe I should give it more time in the playful creative process part of it, and not look at it with the editing critical eye so soon.
Yeah. It's mixed. I am a human being, so I have the same as anyone's have. The same fears, the same urges, whatever. But I really try hard to enjoy my art, and it's not something that I need to think to do it. Like, I really enjoy every time I do something, and at night I have a lot of ideas. And
really, it's at
cannot,
nighttime. Nighttime is when you get a lot of ideas.
Yes. Sorry, I need a lot of drying today, but yes, I am. And I cannot do it, but I don't mind, because I know that sometimes the ideas are the first layer, and I am sure that I am going to transmit the same thing in a better way, even if I let that think with S, not with TH.
I'll be back. I'm listening, but I have to take my microphone off because I have to look for my butterfly stickers.
Okay. So the microphone is mine. Yeah. So I lost one of my brushes. Let's use the other one. Oh, this is better. So we talk about a lot about the inner critic, but we didn't talk about the healing so much. So I think the healing process is something so inherent to art. It gives us a purpose. It gives us a voice. And it gives us a voice that not necessarily is absolute. The same voice that we express could be heard different and resound different in every person. And I think that is the healing process. You can heal through art, and you can provoke healing in others, or others in you.
Oh, you're right. We didn't talk about that. The healing through art, you're saying?
Yes, the part of the healing.
Right. Oh, I think, well, these art projects, I mean, the art projects that she has in the book, because I think the way that she sets up the chapters in this book, I think gets you to reflect on things before and during you create. I feel like that's where the healing process is a lot of times is that these exercises she has before you do the artwork promotes the healing, but somehow I think doing your artwork is healing in itself too.
Yes, yes. I think that we have the opportunity to see a lot of people doing art in live stream, in videos. And we have a unique opportunity that, for instance, my parents didn't have, or my father didn't have. And so sometimes things that others do provokes something in me, and they didn't intend that, I'm sure, but it does. So for me, it's very important to do art whenever I want, whenever I can. I have the opportunity. I had today I went to give my class, but they had another activity, and I knew that it was the possibility of that. So I didn't bother me when I went and I assist with the other activity. But I learned a lot, even though I didn't do whatever I have in mind. And I didn't give a class, organized class, but in my assistance, I did help them to understand things, and I helped myself to understand other things. So that, I think, it's the healing part of all of this. We have a storm here now. I don't understand the weather. Really don't. Thunders and all.
Oh, you have thunder too?
Yeah.
We get a lot of rain here since November or December. The whole country's been getting a lot of precipitation, whether it's snow or rain. The whole country's, even the desert in Arizona got flooded.
Whoa.
So we just get, this whole country's been getting, or either certain parts of the country or most of the country has been getting tons of precipitation since last November.
Kim says, oh, okay. I agree, Anina. Each person has their own strengths and foibles. You are still here, Kim. I have been in and out. I just marble rolled 14 papers and did 2 vinyl heat transfer for t-shirts. Wow! You've been busy, girl. Oh, I have something in mind. Happened to you in general, Diane, and you in the chat, that you cannot relate with something that you are seeing the others are doing? I am talking about art, but could be any subject.
So what's the question?
If happened to you that you cannot relate to a particular art activity that others do words, thoughts, whatever. That you are in a situation that you said, okay, I try, but I cannot relate with that.
The art, you're talking about art specifically?
Also, but let's talk about art. Let's say that you are watching me streaming and I start to do some miniature figures and you are not in that.
That's right. With my vision, I don't like doing miniature things.
Yes.
My vision disability, I don't like doing miniature art.
So you are in the chat because you love me and you want to be in that moment and see what I am doing, but you cannot enjoy it or relate it with it because it's not your scene.
Right.
So let's see.
Jelly printing is not really my thing, and I see a lot of people doing jelly printing.
Yes,
I do have the materials for it, but I don't. But I just I kind of like it, but I don't like it as well as other people really love it.
Yeah. So Kim said, I can relate to others doing art. I'm not a fan of some kind of art, but I can appreciate all the work that is involved. Yeah. Perfect. You see? We love the others and we accept the others, even though it's not what we are, what we do. That's important. Very. Okay, let's start with the acrylic a little bit. You see, I have a hot gun now. Hot air gun. Bye-bye to the hair dryer.
Because you have a what? Hot air gun?
Hot air gun. Here.
I don't. What? I never heard of that.
Oh, it's like a hair dryer, but with less air.
Oh, okay.
Diane, I gel print, but I only want the texture, not the impressive prints people make because I chop them up for bits. Here you go. Mamma mia. Oh, Caramel is in with a panic attack. Oh, my dear. Okay. She's trembling.
Oh, poor doggy.
Because of the storm.
Oh, because of this thunder.
Yeah. So she's seeking for help, but I cannot help her now.
Oh, Pat says she totally is brain dead when it comes to understanding or like when it comes to abstract art.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
I think you probably mean the abstract art that is called non-objective abstract art. That's when it's just all shapes, colors, and patterns and textures, and nothing representational is in it. That's the kind of abstract art you're talking about.
Sorry, we have a situation here. We have a situation. Could be. You know, I am in searching of my style. I'm not sure, but I did started to reorganize my studio. Then I found that I have a lot of things because I am a multi-talented artist. I do everything. Everything I can, I do. But
yeah, both three-dimensional. You do both three-dimensional and two-dimensional art.
Yes. And I do painting and I do
Sculpture.
Everything. Let's say everything. It's
Mask
faster.
making. You do mask making.
Yes, yes. And I do printing and whatever I am attracted to, and I do jewelry and whatever I am attracted to, I do. So I know in a place that I want to hear myself and see what I want to do. And I think that by get rid of some things, of course, I will never get rid of a tool, but supplies like I am starting to cool off, let's say, and see myself with other eyes. So I don't know what will happen with that, but I sense that I am going to have changes in my approach.
Oh, okay.
I sense it. I can sense it. I don't know why. I know when, but it's what I sense. So, yeah.
Oh, it's almost time to stop.
That's okay. What? Sorry. That.
It's almost time to stop. We only have like 7 minutes left.
Oh. Well, I think it was interesting.
Yeah.
I found it interesting, at least.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting to hear your different viewpoint on the inner critic. I thought that was interesting.
Oh yeah, my, as I say, my pipe dreams.
Your what?
Pipe dreams.
Oh.
Yeah, I am aware that this is Reliance pen, but in color. I don't know. It's a little bit wet for them, the surface, but I don't want to. No, I'm not going to use them until it is dry. So I'm going to put my flowers in. ¿Eh? Sentate en un sillón y que ya vaya vos. Fíjate en mi pieza. Sorry, we need to shut every window because of the rain. It was unexpected because we don't have rain in this time of
How
the
often do
year.
you get rain? Because you're in the desert, right?
Yes, we have rain only in the winter.
So this
Yes,
is uncommon for you to have rain this time of year?
Yes, yes, it's uncommon.
Oh.
But everything could be possible.
Are you still there? Oh, can we still hear you? I'm not sure we can still hear you. Can you say something, Myriam? Oh, I think we lost your audio. I don't hear Myriam. We're about the end of our live stream anyway. Yeah, she's having storms where she is, so. So we don't hear you, Myriam. So thank you. Yeah, now I can hear you. Oh, not that great. You sound like you're far. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today.
Oh,
oh, now I can hear
now
you.
I hear.
Thank you so
Bye,
much
all of
for
you.
joining us today for talking about healing through art, understanding the inner critic.
Yes, now I have audio, Kim. That
Yes,
was
now we
because,
can hear you.
yes, I muted my iPhone on purpose so it wasn't be an echo. So now I need it because the only thing I have is my phone connection. I don't have Wi-Fi because of the storm.
Oh,
so
okay.
just on time. Just
Bye,
let's say
everybody.
that it's just on time.
Just in time for her to say goodbye.
So far, here is. And I'm going to continue working in that, and I will post a picture, but not today. Don't expect it today. Thank you so much to all of you that were in this stream and join us. Thank you, Diane.
Thank you, Myriam.
And bye.
Bye.